At Night, it's a modern version of the Salem witch trials set in today's Facebook age. And then, and this is horror and isolation of being a social media influencer. This is a little bit more on the lighter side, but yeah, I'm seeing the theme in the stories that I like to tell. I just noticed everybody's becoming zombies on their phones, and it's scaring me. And I mean, this is definitely aimed for tweens, kids who go to these Deadcon. I don't know if anybody's been, but it's horrifying. And but like you really hear like kids screaming, and you're like, who's dying? But it's it's just like teenagers overexcited about these influencers. So yeah, I'm so fascinated. I'm just so fascinated by how technology is changing us so quickly, and yeah.
So you, in a sense, you do sort of see it as a reason to be worried about things, as something to fear. It's not, or do you see potential in it as well?
Well, I feel like there's always a good side, like it brings people together, it's connection, but also it's consuming us and it's watching us. So in both movies too, I feel like there's a good side and a bad side, and but here I was having fun with the bad side. So it's supposed to be light, but also teach kids get off your freaking phone.
I do know when I hear the term social media influencer, I want to murder people too. So yes, this is. I mean, I get that, but I'm wondering, were you, because most of the people we see here are actually fit into that category. They're not professional actors. Did you audition them like actors? Did you try to find the best actors, or just the most popular people?
So yeah, there's a lot of the people who play influencers are actually influencers. So that was intentional. It's aimed at their audience. And I was just really intrigued by, because I kind of hate influencers too, and I love the idea of doing a movie where, all the influencers pretty much die. It's weird because I do work in it, and it's I'm fascinated by it, but I'm also so turned off by it. It just is, but it's just, that's what kids are doing now. They are they're saying oh, I want to be a scientist when I grow up. Now a lot of kids are saying, I want to be an influencer, which is it amazes me. But so we did a vigorous auditioning process, and so not all of them are influencers, but yeah, we just saw who were the best, and they had fun with it. So yeah.
Did you, through working with them and talking with them, did you learn to appreciate what they do in some way? I'm not sure I have, but I'm just wondering, did you see, oh yeah, I can actually see how a lot of people watching this person online might be an okay thing?
Yeah, I mean, I must say though, in the whole process, I noticed that there is a special talent to being an influencer. I mean, you always have to be connected to your audience. You always, when I noticed when we were filming, we were filming in the strip club with the party. It was funny, but Kylie, the girl who, the friend of Megan, who's I'm sorry when the horror comes on the door. She was live streaming in the breaks in between. Everybody's doing working on the breaks, and I can't even imagine doing that. I'm afraid of selfies. So, but I mean, they constantly have to put out content, and so I saw what they do is a talent. I would get so burn out, and so I was really pushing for the Ashley character to sort of be I'm sick of this, I'm done with being always having to be online. But it's also, she says that, and then the next minute she's vlogging when people are coming into her room. So it's almost an automatic response for these kids. They just don't know a life without like filming everything. So, and also I realized though too, like they're really great. They were like cinematographers in a way, like they were doing their own camera work, like with so I didn't even have to show them how to work a camera. So that's the benefit of having influencers. Like they're really tech heavy and great in that aspect.
Let's talk about the scary stuff. We'll talk about, because I mean, most of the scary stuff happens in those couple of rooms. How did you sort of go about, just in terms of just designing the scary look of the rooms, and how did you do that differently than you might have done like an entire house or some other structure, a mental institution or whatever?
Yeah.
How did you when you sort of limit yourself to these connecting rooms? What does that do in terms of the production design and how you can light it and just make it scary?
Yeah. So initially, for me to understand this world, I went to VidCon, and so some of the footage there I filmed myself. So like the VidCon, and then we were looking at hotels, and to put a whole camera crew in there is impossible. And the line producer was trying to like make it happen. It was like, it would be like, we could not film anything. So we built a stage in the Valley in California, and built these 2 rooms, and they're connecting. One is left in the 80s, and then the other one is, in modern times. So it was great. It gave us so much control. We had this huge lighting grid above, so the gaffer was just able to control everything, like the color change through an iPad. So I mean, there's benefits of technology, but and it was fun just to have that all contained, and there was air conditioning, which was awesome, and it was fun decorating it. I mean, I love The Shining. I don't know if you saw a few little references, the wallpaper and stuff, but and it was just fun to make 2 totally different rooms, and because we had some stunts that we had to have room, like with pulleys and stuff. So giving that flexibility in the space. I mean, there's no other way to do in a real hotel. So, and then to throw blood everywhere. It was fun. I wanted more blood, and then my producers were like, "This is PG-13," and it's just funny. I mean, I just wanted to throw blood everywhere, and they're like, "That's too much blood." But anyway, next time I know, I'll just do more blood.
Next time, or an R-rated movie, yeah. Talking about the convention, was that something you guys set up, or was that filmed at a real convention?
So there's some stuff that me and the DP, we filmed ourselves. We went there because we just had to feel what it was like, and it was like a rave on acid with 10-year-olds. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's like so much going on. It's just chaotic. Colors, music, screaming. So we did some guerrilla work, and it's funny when we went in there too. We were the adults, and then this is near Disneyland, and they saw that the adults were coming in. They thought that we were parents, and so they were like, "Come this way," and there's like a whole section for parents where they have alcohol, and like, "No, we need to check out VidCon." So we have some guerrilla filming in there, and then we recreated some in a Pasadena area. You have to for control. I wanted to bring my influencers there, but just timing-wise didn't work. So we started with the real VidCon, recreated VidCon, or we call it ViewCon, and then it ended in our stage. So it's great. I've never done a stage, and just having that control and air conditioning was great.
And you have Das Mortal doing your score. What was the direction from you there? Because it definitely has a little retro vibe to it, and because part of it is set in the 80s. But I'm just wondering, what was your directive?
Yeah, I came across Das Mortal listening to iTunes, and he's, what do you call it? I love electronic music. I love it. And I came across him, and when I prep for something, I really get deep into music, and I came across him, and there was one song that I loved, I kept playing over and over. And then as we were trying to find composers, we were like, what about going to him? And he loves horror movies, and he does like really retro stuff, and you know, there's like a whole 8-bit kind of element in there too, that he did like Dracula's theme. So he was really awesome to work with. He lives in Montreal, and it's great working with somebody who is a horror fan. And I don't know if you guys know him, but his videos are awesome. And so and I saw him perform, but yeah, he just worked so hard. It was his first movie. I love working with electronic music artists. The Crystal Method did music for my first movie, so yes.
You mentioned he's a horror fan. Are you by nature a horror fan?
I love dark stuff.
You mentioned The Shining. What are some of
I love The Shining was my favorite movie. It scared the bejesus out of me when I had a sleepover when I was 15, and all my girlfriends fell asleep, and I was awake and like dying in my sleeping bag. I feel like that movie like catapulted me into loving film. So, but I mean, I was watching it just for inspiration. My movie is nothing like The Shining, but I just love dark stuff. And like my first movie too, some people call it a horror movie. It's not really. It's like a dark drama. But I do want to get more into horror. So like this was the first time I've done something that's kind of like fun. It's supposed to be lighthearted, but like, you know, have some like deeper meaning underneath. But I'm working on a few more horror movies.
I was going to ask you, are you going to continue in this vein? Okay, that's good to hear.
Yes.
So the film already has a distributor, Alter, one of our sponsors actually, which is Gunpowder and Skies imprint for horror. What is the release plan? Is there a...
There are a few more festivals. There's one in the UK. They haven't told, yeah. I'm like, and then it has it's going to be released on a digital platform. So, which is, yeah. So they put out the trailer on YouTube, and it's just funny watching all the comments and you know, I mean, it's definitely for teenagers. And thanks for coming to watch this. I appreciate it. I haven't seen it in a while, and but yeah, it's gonna have a home, which is great because you work so hard on a movie, and then you're like, I hope it comes out. And I hadn't heard about this for like, where is this ending up? I thought it was dead. I thought Deadcon was dead, but yeah, it has a place. I don't know if I can say where, but it's a good public digital platform.
Okay. This year, you think, or like we'll see it?
I think so.
Okay, so you guys probably have a little bit of time if you want to, you know, talk it up online, you know, on social media, be influencers yourselves. Tell people if you dug it. Caryn, thank you so much for coming to Chicago and let us play the movie.
Thanks. This place is awesome, by the way. Like, yeah, thank you.
Woo! Thanks a lot for sticking around. Stick around for Guar after this.